Hello and welcome to Talk to Downtown. My name is Courtney Wood. I'm the Economic Development Director for the Downtown Stockton Alliance, the 501c6 nonprofit property-based business improvement district serving downtown Stockton. This series is intended to connect our business owners, property owners, visitors, and residents with the organizations, people, and resources which impact our community. Today we have special guest, Mike Huber. He is the Executive Director for the Downtown Stockton Alliance. So I'm excited to chat with him today about the work that the Downtown Stockton Alliance does. We'll begin by having Mike share a little bit about himself, how long he's been in this role, and also want to hear from him what is his favorite thing about being the Executive Director of the Downtown Stockton Alliance. And I will then run through a list of questions I've outlined for him, and at the end we will open it up for viewer questions. So if you do have a question, please type it in as a comment. We will get to it towards the end of the live. With that, welcome, Mike. Thanks for being our guest. Please tell us.
That was a quick year.
Yeah. How long have you been in your role, and what do you love about being our Executive Director?
It'll be 8 years in April, and what I love about being the director here is our team of people. We have a really dedicated and passionate group of people that work really hard to improve downtown and keep it clean and safe. So that's what I love. I love the people here.
Awesome. And just as we always do, can you please remind everyone, what does the Downtown Stockton Alliance do? What is our mission? What are our goals?
Well, we do a lot of things. Our mission is clean and safe, but we also do marketing. We do economic development. We do advocacy. We manage grants. We do beautification projects. But the clean and safe is the core of what we do. We have a maintenance team that is dedicated to keeping downtown clean, and our community ambassadors help the community in wayfinding. They outreach to the unsheltered and try to connect them with services. And if you have a dead battery, they'll jumpstart your car too. So yeah, there they are. Great group of guys.
And can you tell everyone if they see trash on sidewalks or human waste and that needs to be cleaned up in downtown Stockton, how can they get in touch with us to have that taken care of?
Yeah, just call the office number at 209-464-5246, and someone will dispatch a maintenance crew worker out there to deal with whatever the call's for.
Awesome. And then you also talked about our community ambassadors. So let me get them up here.
Right. Our community ambassadors are kind of the eyes and ears. They help the community. They help the visitors, the employees, and the residents that live down here. They're just out there to help you. They hand out information. Again, we engage the unsheltered and try to get them connected with services. They'll hand them a list of services if they just want to do it on their own. They have a separate number, and that number is 209-451-7775. And that phone goes directly to them. We don't have a dispatch center, so you'll talk directly to a community ambassador when you call that number.
Awesome. Yeah, really great crew that we have with us right now. So if you're needing a safety escort or a community escort, then that's the number to call. All right, so you said a big component of what we do is maintenance and also the Community Ambassador Program. Can you remind everyone, how is the DSA funded?
Well, we are funded by the property owners within the boundaries of our district. And so that district is real large, and if you take a rectangle, it's from the railroad tracks east to the waterfront west, and then Oak Street to Sonora Street. There are some carve-outs like the ballpark and arena. But that's it. So those property owners pay an additional fee on their property tax, and that funds us to be able to provide the services that we do.
And to clarify, how are we connected with the City of Stockton?
Well, the City of Stockton is one of the larger property owners, as well as some of the other municipals, because we are the county seat. And We're not the city, though. We are a 501c6. We're a separate entity that works closely with the city, and we partner quite a bit with them to do projects. But yeah, we're independent of the city. So even though we work closely with them, we are not the city of Stockton.
Right. So we're an enhancement. It's us who's out there cleaning up the sidewalks. It's us emptying the trash cans. It's our guys that are doing that work. Wonderful. And it's been actually nearly 30 years since the Downtown Stockton Alliance was first incorporated. What is something that you think people don't know or understand about the work of the Downtown Stockton Alliance?
What don't they know? I would have to say that all the services that we provide, I think that people have a misconception that when they see our guys out there cleaning, that they're city employees. And so that there's a perception that the city's out doing all this work and it's the Downtown Alliance.
Definitely, 100%. All right, so 2025 has been another busy year for the Downtown Stockton Alliance. Let's talk about some of the projects and happenings in our district. So this year, a huge amount of time, focus, and energy went into the recertification process of the downtown district. Can you tell viewers about the process and what stage this project is in now?
Yeah, so in the past, the state of California has allowed us to recertify every 10 years as a property improvement district. This year, we took a little different route, and we're going to become a community improvement district, and that extension will be a 20-year term. So that process was long. We had to start by gathering all the information of the property owners from the county, cross-check those to see if those were still current, and then go out and get petitions signed. We needed a threshold of petitions in order to present to the city council. Once we presented that to the city council and met that threshold, then they moved it to the ballot stage, and then the property owners voted on whether they wanted to continue the bid or not. And that's where we're at right now.
All right. So beyond the recertification, which is still in progress, we're still working on it. We also continued work on a few of our San Joaquin County ARPA program projects this year. So we still have our Broken Window Fund, our Entrepreneur Support Program, and our Window Rep Program. Can you remind us about those programs and how people can apply for them?
Right. So the ARPA programs were post-COVID, and they're to help businesses recover from the pandemic. And so we were able to secure some funds from the county to do some great stuff. And the broken windows is something that we don't want to see boarded up windows. So we're able to put $800 per window towards our property owners if they do have an incident where they have a broken window. The Window Wrap program is something that we're trying to get the cardboard signs out of the windows and beautify, some of the storefronts. And so that's a really great program. It's something unique about the Window Wrap program is that we've done quite a few. Yeah, that was a great one. Within this program, not one window wrap has had a broken window. And I don't know if that's just an anomaly or whether the window wraps are just people are admiring them and honoring them. And so, but we've never had a broken window that's been wrapped. So that's an interesting dynamic. And then the last one is the entrepreneurial, where we'll help the chambers with some membership, or if somebody takes an educational class, and we will help them, fund that. So that's been a really impactful program. We have worked closely with all of the chambers in San Joaquin County, and as long as you're a downtown business, you can get reimbursed on your chamber membership.
Awesome. So for the Entrepreneur Support Program and the Window Repair Reimbursement Program, we do have links online that you guys can use to apply. But for the Window Rep program, you can go ahead and just give me an email, and I can get you set up with getting your window rep.
Yeah, that program was successful that we exhausted a lot of the funds, and so we took it off our website. but we still had a lot of interest, so we were able to shift some money out of another category into the window wraps, and so they'll need to contact you if they want to do that. But that's a great program. I mean, it really makes the businesses look great. It pops. So yeah, take advantage of it.
Definitely. So beyond those grant programs, we also are still administering the San Joaquin County Facade Enhancement Grant Program. Can you tell people what that program is, remind them what it is, and how they can apply?
Well, it goes back to, we worked closely with the City of Stockton through an American Rescue Act facade program in downtown, and the county saw how successful it was, and they asked us if we would be willing to manage their program in the unincorporated low-income areas in the county. And it's not a whole lot, and so we thought, you know, if we can drive a little extra money by administrating this to the organization, we would take that on, and we're close to finishing that one up. And that's been a really good program for the county, and we're happy to do it for them.
Definitely. And here's the link here in case anyone has a property in an unincorporated area of the county and can meet the other eligibility requirements. There's a link right there. All right, so we've talked about ARPA money, and now I would like to talk about our ongoing video series. So this year we continued our Doors to Downtown series, which features businesses within downtown Stockton. We talk with the owners. We have a video feature on them. So there's the Doorways episodes that we released this year. And how can people get in touch with us if they're wanting to be one of the businesses who are featured in Doorways to Downtown?
Well, they could contact you, or they could call the office, and we can put them in touch with you. But you kind of are the hub for the marketing and oversee that department. So that would be the first step, is to just make contact and say, hey, I have a new business in downtown, and we'll come out and feature you. You know, we want to put as much spotlight on our businesses down here and let people know some of the great services that these businesses provide. So that would be the first step. Yeah, just reach out to you.
Yeah, if you would love your business featured, we would love to do that for you. So get in touch with us. All right, and we also continued our Talk to Downtown series, which you are on today, and you are yearly our December guest. It's always fun having you on mic. So I would like to kind of just show the thumbnails of all the episodes we had this year. Which episode was your favorite, Mike?
Wow, that's a hard one, because we have such great guests on that talk about their contribution to downtown and the impact that they provide for downtown. You know, I think the one that I kind of look at and smile and have a good time is Matty Amen. He's always so cheerful and bright and positive and smile on his face, but they're all great. I mean, I learned something new in each one of them. So, but that would be my favorite, I guess.
Yeah, Matty was such a great guest. We had so much to talk about. There's just so many projects he's working on. But I agree, this year we had a really, especially wonderful roundup of guests. So thank you to all of you.
Yeah, this is a hard group to follow. I mean, you know, coming on as the last guest of the year, it's hard to follow this group because they did such a great job.
You're going to do great. All right, and then our last video project, which is our Spirits of Downtown series. We do have another episode in the works. Can you please tell us what building is going to be featured, and when will the release date be of that video? Yeah,
the building will be our next in a great series of Spirits of Downtown, and the team is working on getting that out as soon as possible. It probably will launch sometime in January. So stay tuned for that. But it's a really, oh, there you go. That's our basement. And the building is our current office. So we experience all kinds of crazy things here in these old buildings. But that's the next one, and then we'll continue the series from there. So if you have a spirit in your building and you want to share that we are always looking for new episodes to film, and So let us know if you've had an experience.
Oh, definitely. Reach out to us. Let us know. We want to know. We want to investigate. I'm excited to have the building video finished. Definitely. All right. So we talked about our video series, and now let's talk about some events. So this year we continued our partnership with the StocktonPorts, SJCOE, and Main Street Youth and Family Services to host National Night Outs. So we did that once again this year. Mike, in your opinion, what makes National Night Out such a great community event?
Well, baseball is the American game, and having a baseball game and having to not have to block streets and having it at the ballpark is really impactful. And it really, there are people that have never seen a baseball game. So they can come to National Night Out, they can experience a baseball game, they can look at all the information booths, and we're not having to rush through it like we've done in the past where we've had to block a street for only a certain amount of time. So it's really a kind of a free-flowing and fun event. And we're so happy that the ports are partners with us, the Office of Education, Main Street Parents. We've got a great group of people that put this event on, and it draws, as you can see in that picture, that there are thousands of people that come through that day. But I think the best thing is the baseball game. You get to see a professional baseball game, and if you've never been to one, maybe you'll come back for another one.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's such a cool setting. The ballpark is beautiful, and there's all of these community organizations there, providing information and resources. There's raffle prizes. It's just such a fun event. I love it.
Yeah, and I had to turn down a professional baseball contract after throwing out the first pitch this year. They came to me and said, "Wow, look at that," and they wanted me to come out and pitch for the Ports, but I'm busy, so I had to turn that down.
Wow, what a bummer. We're glad to have you. We're glad you chose us. All right. The DSA participated in a ton of Halloween events. So there were so many like trunk or treat events, the trick or sweet event. I've got some pictures here from the Adventist Health Arena trick or sweet. We've just participated in these awesome Halloween events. Why do you think that these type of events are so popular or well attended in downtown Stockton?
Well, they're safe and they're family oriented. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that people can bring their kids to a nice, safe environment. They're climate controlled, so you're not out in the cold and having to walk a whole lot. But great events. I mean, it's great to see all those kids. I mean, the arena was just packed with kids, and it's great to see the little costumes and stuff. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that it's all concentrated into one area, and it's a safe event. Definitely.
We saw hundreds and hundreds of kids at these events. It was just amazing. Hundreds of families at all of the Halloween events. So it's so fun to participate. It's so fun to see all of the costumes, and can't wait for next year. So outside of the Halloween events, there were also just so many other events that took place in downtown Stockton this year. We had events come for the first time. We had regular events. I've got some pictures here. This is the from the Dia de los Muertos event that always happens at the Mexican Heritage Center. We had new events like the Tahitian Dance Festival, Te Fa'a no Teori, which also was in downtown this year. I've got some pictures from that. It was really exciting and fun. We also had just ongoing events, like weekly events that happened at Tap That Ash. They had line dancing. There was also karaoke every week at Coach's Lounge. There were so many events going on in downtown this year. And earlier in the year, I started putting out these weekly posts, which compile, what's happening in downtown Stockton. So it's got a video and also just a post that you can scroll through to really consolidate everything into one place. So if people are like, I'm curious, what do I want to do this weekend? They can check it out on our social media pages. And it was another way to just kind of bring all of this information about so many things happening just into one easy place for people to access. So out of the hundreds of events that took place in downtown Stockton this year, Mike, which one was your favorite and why?
Wow, there are so many. It's that, again, it's a hard choice of which is my favorite. It's almost daily there's an event down here, whether it's dancing in the plaza or something going on at Weber Point or at the Bob Hope or shows at the arena or a basketball or baseball game. So I think maybe the California Economic Summit was the one that I'm going to point to because it made such an impact. I mean, you had the governor here, you had people from all over California coming in here and getting to see how great not only Stockton is, but how great downtown Stockton is and how beautiful it is. And so I got a lot of feedback from the participants there that were out of town, and a lot of them said, you hear all these things about Stockton, but wow, this is a great place. So, I think that's the one that I would point to the most. Real impact.
Definitely. Yeah, it was really exciting, especially October this year. October and November were really busy with events, and it was really cool to know that they chose downtown Stockton for that conference. And it was also nice. We had another conference that happened, which was the CodeStack conference in that same month. So really nice to see downtown Stockton on the map for conferences. Really, really cool.
Yeah, anything
All
that
right.
can bring people down here is that we can change that perception of downtown has an impact. And so having all these events or having the educators come for CodeStacks or having the economic summit, that all shines a great light on downtown. And I just like seeing all those people moving around.
Definitely. And they're all looking for something to do after the conference. So we tried to direct them. Okay, so we've talked about some events, and now let's talk about businesses. Every year there's new businesses opening up here in downtown Stockton. Can you name a few?
Yeah, we're actually running out of first floor retail space downtown. So I'm hoping some of the buildings that have not been rehabilitated do that soon, because we need more businesses down here, and we get calls every day and they're looking for a place, and we're running out of space. But there's some restaurants that opened at Granny's and LaDonna, Emery's is in, they've just opened. They're going to put some TVs in after the first of the year and show sports at that. Right below us, Acapulco is going to open in a space that's been closed since COVID. FO3, which is that's a great business. Johnny Walker's over in the plaza. It's a Thai food restaurant that's really, really good. Curbside Cravings in the courthouse plaza. So we have just a whole bunch of new businesses that have come in, and it's great to see that COVID now is kind of behind us, and that people are having confidence in opening a business in downtown, and that those businesses are thriving, and we're here to help them. Definitely.
Yeah, we've got some pictures here from some of those businesses that you mentioned, but it did seem like a really thriving year for new entities opening up, and it seems like they're doing well, which is also great. It's great to see that. So exciting, and if there's anything you guys need, let us know. Okay, so we've talked a lot about 2025. Which program or project are you most proud of, Mike?
Getting through the recertification, probably, because it was such hard work and time consuming. But I think the project that I am going to point to is, we funded the Ports crosswalk mural a year ago, and this year we did the Kings crosswalk. And the year we did that, it gave them good luck because they won the G League championship. So we added to the mural with the championship, and the year they won. So, it really makes, when we have a great sports team, people rally around that. So I'd say that would be the one that I'm most proud of. And it's not a big project, but it it certainly gave them good luck and it brought a championship to Stockton.
Yeah, I mean, it was so exciting when the Kings won, and then they had the huge celebration at the arena. It was just awesome. So good for us to continue to support the Kings and to highlight that huge accomplishment. It's our city that got it last year. It's very exciting. Only us. What is the most common question you were asked about Downtown Stockton or the DSA this year, and how did you answer?
A lot of people ask what we're going to do next. And we've got some things in the works that I can't really talk about now, but I think the most common question is, where's a good restaurant? And that's a hard one because we have such great restaurants down here, but I think that's probably because people are starting to understand what the DSA does and what they do for the businesses and the property owners. So that when I first got here, that was usually the most common question, but now it's, gosh, there's such great events. What's going on down here? Where can I eat? What can I do? And so I think that's probably this last year was the most common question.
And how do you answer it? What did you tell them?
I tell them to go to our visitor's guide and go on our website and check everything out because it's all there, and it would take a couple of hours to explain it to each person.
Definitely,
so
yeah. Over 40 places to eat, so many events going on, which you can see on our website, our events calendar. There's just so much happening in downtown Stockton right now. It's wonderful. If you could sum up the work of the DSA this year in one word, what would it be?
Teamwork and success. I think that's 2 words, but teamwork. Again, I'm blessed to have a staff that really works hard at what they do, and they appreciate when somebody says, "Hey, thank you." But they work hard, and I think that teamwork would be the one word. Yeah.
Definitely, great word. Yeah, all of us are playing our role. Okay, I've got just 2 reminders that I'd like you to provide to viewers. So we do have a loan program, the Downtown Stockton Enterprise Loan Fund. Can you please talk about it and tell people how they can apply if they're interested in that?
Right, that's a 501c3 that we have it's a microloan program that if you want to start a business or you want to buy some new equipment and you might have been turned down by a traditional lender, come to us and we can help you with that. We can help educate you on how to build a business plan out, how to get your business up and going, and we're here to help you with some financing too to make sure that your business is successful. So again, you can go to our website and look at that. But a great program. We have a collective group of board members that give some great advice and insight on how to fund this and where the risks are. And so go to the website if you have some needs for funding, and we'll get started on the process.
Awesome. And then last year we launched a merch store, Downtown Stockton merch store. And this year we've got a sale going on. Can you talk about the sale?
Well, we're going to do a holiday sale. Yeah, there's one of the sweatshirts right there. Some great stuff. And there are some branded items like the Bob Hope Fox. We have a t-shirt for that. We have one for the Chunghwa Lane. But there's hoodies and t-shirts. And this isn't cheap stuff. This is really high-end textile material. So, it's built to last, and it's really affordable. We're really not doing this to make a huge profit. We're doing this to brand downtown and get people to be proud of the fact that, downtown is the place to be.
Thank you. Thank you for that reminder. Yeah, 15% off everything in our merch store. So you can order online, which is shop.downtownstockton.org, or you can come in person and we can sell it to you right here in our offices at 110 North San Joaquin Street on the 5th floor. Thank you, Mike, for that reminder. All right, so now I'd like to ask you just a couple questions about downtown itself. What is your favorite aspect of downtown Stockton today?
Well, it's not just today, it's every year. The kids and the schools down here. It's when the kids are here, it's so lively, and I almost hate to see the end of the school year because all those happy kids and the noise they make and stuff go home for the summer, and so I look forward to them coming back to school. But that energy and the fact that they move around downtown and navigate. And eat down here and play. I think my favorite thing is the kids down here, and there's a lot of them. I think we have 6 charter schools.
Definitely, it does seem like it's very busy during the week with them, walking on the streets, going to recess at one of the parks or something. It's so cool. I totally agree.
And then I think the other thing would be the people that are. We have a lot of property owners now that are building out. Some of their properties to market rate housing, and so the more people we have living down here, the more amenities we'll either have or need, and so that's the other thing is now we've got a lot of residents that are moving down here that their kid might go to the charter school, they might work for the city, county, or the state, and they really don't need a car; they can walk everything. So that's another favorite of mine, but it's the kids. The kids are the thing that really make downtown great.
Wonderful. And speaking of kids, I know you're from Stockton, you've seen Stockton during some of its heyday times. Do you have any childhood Christmas memories of downtown Stockton? And what would those be?
Well, I'm old, so some of you people will not remember this, but downtown was everything. Before the malls went in, all the shopping stores were down here. The greatest restaurants were down here. Sonora Street had 3 amazing restaurants, but all the department stores were here. And the one thing that I would love to see come back that's a great memory of mine is the Christmas parade down Main Street where Santa was on the fire truck and kids would just line up all down Main Street, and there was paper bells that hung across the street and lights, and that was a really neat event. But there used to be California Athletic Supply down here, and the basement always had where their overstock or leftovers. They had a sale down there, so I was always down in the basement picking through to see what I could get a sale on a mitt or a bat or something. So that's another memory, but they're gone. Like the shopping, the grocery stores, the department stores, they all moved to the mall in the 60s. So, but yeah, downtown, and we lived way out north, and we drove downtown for everything. We ate our meals down here. We came down to shop. So that, again, I'm showing my age a little bit, but that was kind of my favorite memories.
Very cool. Yeah, it would be so great to get that Christmas parade back, 100%. And interesting to hear about the sale. Very cool. It's must be a very kind of vibrant memory for you going to those sales right there in downtown. Very cool. All right. So let's talk about the future. What downtown development projects are in the works? What's happening right now? What are you most excited about?
There are several. The South Shore is going to have a huge development down there just west of the warehouse and the marina, and it's been in the stages. They have to do some cleanup of the soil, but that's going to be a really, really big one, real impactful. You're talking almost 300 living units, retail spaces, a parklet along the water. So real excited about the South Shore development. And then just some small ones, the murals that we'll continue to do, and we're going to try to put in some public parkways for people. But I think the biggest one's going to be when the minesweeper, the Lucid, moves here. That's a really cool project, and they have a great plan to have a museum, a little restaurant, and then the ship itself is amazing. They've done such a good job at bringing it back to its original state, and it'll be down here for everybody to tour, and it'll be a great addition to the waterway. So I like the Lucid. I can't wait till it gets down here.
Me too. I'm very excited for that. And so those are some upcoming development projects. Now, can you talk about the DSA? What are your goals for the Downtown Stockton Alliance next year? What are your priorities and projects?
Well, I mean, again, continue our mission and to keep downtown clean, because, you know, people see what they see, and our downtown is, I'm proud to say, is one of the cleanest downtowns that I've been in. And you know, when you're in this role and you go to other places, you see things that the normal person doesn't see, like banners and trash on the streets. And so you notice those things because that's your world. And we're going to continue to do some beautification projects. I've got a couple of projects that I want to work with the city on to remove some blight. And then we'd love to see the waterway more utilized, and I don't know how we can get involved in that, but you know, we advocate for that, and we would love to see the waterways be used a little bit better, like in other cities. So yeah, we've got a few projects in the works, but again, recertification was a timely and costly experience. And it took a lot of time. So we didn't have a lot of time to plan for 26 projects, but now that we're wrapping that up and wrapping up the ARPA funding, we'll have time to sit down and talk about some projects.
Definitely. Yeah, we're always looking for that waterfront activation, especially. That's such a big piece of our economic development. You know, we need to come up with some kind of plan and get some partners involved. All right, so the DSA, last year we started participating in a Korea West exchange program. So we had students from Korea come here. They were looking for work experience, or they were looking to improve their English. And we continued that this year, but we also took on some interns from local universities. What can you tell us about how people can get in touch with us if they're looking for an internship, and what that internship might look like?
Yeah, just call you or I and express your interest, and we'll probably bring you in and interview you and see what you want to get out of the internship. We had the Korean interns were great. Actually, you know, we worried about the language barrier, but that wasn't the case. They spoke better English than most people that I know, and really helped us out a lot on not only the recertification, but on, you know, marketing, and you did a little series with them. You know, they would walk around with the intern and they would take pictures, and so that added, you know, something new to what we normally do in our routine. So it's fresh and it was new, and it was great to have them experience America, but Stockton. And then the interns we've gotten from the universities have been really helpful. We just brought one on after his intern contract expired and brought him on as a employee. So Andy's been really helpful in marketing and social media platforms. We're just happy to have him aboard because it takes a lot of pressure off the other staff.
Definitely, yes. Thank you to Andy for all of your help.
Yes.
And we're always, you know, open to potentially bringing on interns. So get in touch with us if you're curious about what we do and want to get involved. All right, we're coming down towards the end of my questions, and then we will open it up for audience questions. So if you do have a question, make sure you type it in. How can listeners support the work of the Downtown Stockton Alliance, Meg?
You know, just a thank you to the guys out there doing the work is probably the biggest. I mean, that's uplifting, and it really does support what they're doing. And you know, we do have a lot of volunteer groups that come in and want to do their volunteer day or their give back day, and that's, you know, that warms my heart that people want to give back to their community. but the people that are boots on the ground out there every day, you know, as it gets cold and as the leaves are falling and as, you know, trash builds up and we get it out of there as quick as possible. Just a thank you to them is really impactful. Thank you for what you do. But, you know, we've thought about, because our guys get here really early so that when the cars aren't parked, they can do the gutters and they can do things. And so a lot of times I never see your guy. Well, yeah, because he was here making downtown clean before you woke up. So yeah, that's the biggest thing is I think if you really want to help, just telling them thank you it really brings their spirits up.
Definitely. It can brighten their day. You know, oh, someone noticed me. Someone noticed what I've been doing. Very good point, Mike. All right. So how can people get in touch with you if they've got questions about anything that we talked about today?
Well, you could call the number again, 209-464-5246, or you can email me at mhuber@downtownstockton.org. Or you can just come up to the office. You know, my door is always open. I love to sit and chat about downtown. People say I'm really passionate about it, and I am. You know, I want downtown to be the hub of this city, and our staff realizes that and works really hard. You know, we do have challenges, but every city has challenges. But as we've come out of, you know, the bankruptcy, out of COVID, things are really turning up, and we're getting a lot of investment down here, a lot of market rate housing, a lot of businesses coming in. So if you want to talk about that, I'm always up for it, and you'll see, you know, I love to talk about downtown Stockton.
Yeah, and there is so much to talk about. There's so much to chat about in terms of we talked about events, the businesses, but also plans for the future, investment. There's just so much going on here. And so many nonprofits too, so many local organizations really dedicated to making Stockton a better place. And they have their offices right here in downtown. So it's very exciting. Well, thank you, Mike, for answering all of my questions. Now I will open it up to see if there are any audience questions. Okay. At the moment, I don't see any, so I will just share that this video has been streaming live to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, where we are at Downtown Stockton. So please make sure to follow us, like, subscribe, and share the video if you think that anyone you know might benefit from the information that Mike talked about today. All right, I still don't see any questions. So Mike, is there anything else that you would like to share with viewers about Downtown Stockton or the Downtown Stockton Alliance?
Well, we talked about a lot, and a lot of that is what I would hope that people hear. But I love this city. I came back to this city after being gone for 8 years, and there was a reason for that. I really, my heart is here, and my memories are here, and downtown is a big part of that. And so I'm really proud that our staff worked so hard and is so passionate about bringing downtown back to what it was and bringing it alive and making it the hub of our city. I call it the heart, because when the heart is healthy, the rest of the body is healthy. And so downtown is a really important part of making Stockton great, and, you know, and having people attracted to coming here to not only live, but to visit, to see a show. And then we just have such a diverse community that the food is just amazing. And you know, that I thought you were going to ask me which is my favorite restaurant, and I'm glad you didn't, because it's so hard, because, you know, I try to eat at all of them, and the food is just such an amazing, I mean, you just don't get that anyplace else in the world that you get in Stockton. You don't have the diversity that we have, and a lot of that is in downtown. So that's what you know, I would say, come downtown, enjoy all the things that we have, whether it's a daily activity as far as entertainment or some of the just amazing restaurants.
Definitely, yes. So many to choose from, and there's always seems to be new ones added every year. Yeah. Do you have any new favorites that you do want to talk about? I know you got your staples since you mentioned it.
I'm not going to say because I can't put. I probably got 5 or 6 that are equally as good that I enjoy eating. But then I'll get surprised. Like I'll go to Granny's and get some some food there, and it's like, wow, I've never had that before, and there's some great food there. But all the restaurants are really good. We have a lot of different types of Mexican food. Everybody says, well, wow, you got all these Mexican restaurants. Don't they cook the same? And they don't. They're all different in the way they make things. And so trying each one and then trying the different foods. So I really don't have a favorite because there's such a different and collective group of food.
So come downtown and try them all. There you go. Okay, thank you, Mike. And I've got just one comment, and it actually happens to be from our intern, former intern, now staffer, Andy. He says, yay, DSA. Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, Andy. You're doing a great job.
Definitely. All right. Well, since I don't see any further questions or comments from the audience, I just want to thank viewers. Thank you so much, viewers, for tuning in. Please share this information with any downtown property owners or business owners or people who maybe are thinking of starting a business in downtown Stockton. You're looking to invest, share this video with them, have them get in touch with us. We're happy to talk with anyone. And I want to say thank you to Mike. Thank you, Mike, for your time today, for being our guest, and for being our leader here at the Downtown Stockton Alliance. So we appreciate you.
I mean, you've done this series now, I think, 70 plus times, and you do a great job at it as well as everything else you do. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Thanks, Mike. All right. And with that, I would just like to say happy holidays, everyone, and have a great day downtown. Thank you.